is class 9 of module 2. So the third of the second module, third class of the second module. So class 9 out of 30 classes. So this is co-creation and digital communities. In the previous class, we saw about prosumers and user-generated content, how a customer can actively be involved with the marketing of a brand selling products or services, which also helps them through affiliate marketing and through other means, and it also helps the brand with their products getting properly marketed. So today we are looking at co-creation and digital communities. So co-creation is similar to the concept of prosumers. It's just that this one is prosumer is what they will be putting on their own channel, and co-creation is while they are creating it along with the brand. So co-creation refers to the collaborative process where consumers contribute to the development of the product, services, or experiences. It's just basically like taking feedback, taking reviews, and incorporating the reviews, whatever people are expecting. People are seeing that the product should have these features and all those, and then incorporating that into the product or services. We see that a lot, especially with the new software as a service uh, module. So software as a service, we also call it SaaS. So it's a it's it's a, we can call it a product or we can call it a service. So essentially, they are basically app or websites or say products as our Photoshop and Illustrator. So we subscribe it to it uh, with a monthly amount. So even Canva is another. There are all we have a lot of softwares nowadays where we can subscribe to those softwares. Canva is one. Then um, different softwares like Photoshop, even Microsoft Word also has become a software as a service module, a software as a service pattern. So they run as a subscription-based model. So most of the software as a service uh, softwares, they run in the cloud. So they are cloud based. Yes, they run in our computer, but then they are connected. If we are using cracked versions, that's another thing that we have to hide it from the system. But then uh, mostly it's what it's connected to the cloud, and then we are paying a monthly subscription or a yearly subscription for that particular software. So software as a service, when we say, then that's also similar to what mobile applications are. So if we go to Google Play Store, then say most of the apps. Let's go to apps. So games also have similar kind of model, even though we do not call them as SaaS because game is another gaming industry. So let's go to okay ChatGPT, which is a common form of software as a service because they provide the software as a service for a minimal amount. So then we have reviews. So basically, this is where we are looking at. So they, let's see, in places where the company, okay, company do not, they have not replied to any of the comments. But then essentially this, after the new update, I can't change. So people are giving them reviews. So co-creation is where the reviews are accepted by the company and it's used to enhance the product, right? There are different examples, better examples. We will come slowly as we go into the class. So co-creation is a collaborative process where consumers contribute to the development of products, services, or experiences. So we will also come to experiences in the following example. Digital communities are online groups where individuals connect over shared interests, facilitating engagement and interaction among members. So, in modern marketing, as we saw in a case of prosumers, user-generated content is more trustworthy than the brand commercials because brand commercials are made to shine, are polished, but user-generated content mostly are in a very raw form. Yes, nowadays it's also changing that like AI have come, AI can create now user-generated content. So it's the authenticity for those people who know it's like slowly decreasing. But then most people are more and more people are coming into the internet now. They are getting used to the mobile phone and mobile system now. So many people still think that targeted ads are a sign of the universe, something like that. So basically, is the algorithm, right? So similarly, co-creation and digital communities have become integral to marketing strategies. So companies are using co-creation and digital communities for marketing their products because it's cost effective, lesser cost. Before in traditional marketing, printing, pasting it on the banner, keeping it there for 1 month. There will be human resources required. Even when they have to distribute flyers, somebody has to do it manually. Then taking reviews was another task. So marketing was a very costly affair before. Nowadays, in digital media, it has started to become more and more cost effective. And then new and new startups and even people like us who are very small scale compared to the big brands, even we can start doing advertisements online. So co-creation empower consumers, enhance brand loyalty, and foster innovation because businesses they function to solve a problem. So it's a process of supply and demand. There, if there is a problem, then there will be a demand for the solution, right? So that problem can be in the household, that problem can be in the kitchen, that problem can be on the road, maybe with the car, maybe with the gas table, or like anything. So for when there's a problem, then there will be a need, a demand for the solution. And when there is a demand for solution, then supplying the solution will enable a business to function. So business is basically there to solve people's problems. So people's problem when they start articulating, when they start telling the brand about their problems by themselves, and then say, and then even sharing how it will uh, help them if the product has XYZ, right? So if the product maybe minor changes that will enable people, more and more people to accept it, then the company will be able to solve the problem for more amount of people. For example, say nowadays we have for those people who are physically challenged, or we call them differently abled nowadays, because before we used to say we used to use the word handicap, but then we do not use the word handicap anymore because that has become a rude word. So we use nowadays we use differently able. They are able, capable, but then they are differently able. So a person in a wheelchair maybe for on the road, we can incorporate, we can design the roads a little bit differently so that more and more people will be able to travel. And then even differently abled people also will be able to sustain in this world, right? They will be self-reliant. They will be able to do what other people also are doing because everything is digital. There's also woman empowerment. There's also inclusion about everyone. So that's how we can improve and to in, to include more and more people into the solution. And that's where co-creation it works. It comes into aid. So co-creation empowers consumers, enhance brand loyalty, and foster innovation, allowing organizations to tap into valuable insights from their audience. Just like this. So these basically are reviews, are insights. Why they are liking it, why they are not liking it. So what the company has to do, why they are liking it, keep it. Why they are not liking it, change it. Right? It's not as simple as like we are talking in the class, of course. But then it's if we think it that way, then it's basically as simple as uh, change the problem and keep the solution. So key concepts include the role of consumer engagement and collaborative innovation. So consumer engagement is where we will engage the consumers so that they will we will enable the consumers to engage with us. We will provide them platforms like this where they can freely talk about us, discuss about us. So digital communities also are a way of that. So for there was a Netron. So Netron is basically a VFX software which is free and open source based. This is like related, but then what I wanted to tell you that Netron is a software. It's like After Effects or Fusion software, and the changes that since it's open source, so the changes used to happen mostly in Facebook community. There were communities, and then that used to be there on Facebook for quite a long time before other social media became very popular. Then for Adobe softwares and other places, there's also Creative Cow. So that's a creative communities. If you have any problem in your future, in the future with related to After Effects, graphic design, of course you have your faculties. But later on when you're working, then if you have any problem, then you can seek a solution from this community. So essentially, uh, it's about providing, mm, creating digital communities so that people will be able to find the solution, right? So Creative Cow is not by Adobe, even though this has Adobe-based all of the softwares. So there's After Effects, Premiere Pro. So this basically it's like a forum. So we also have GitHub. So GitHub is another forum where people can um, go and then find solutions, right? So those are technical and creative digital communities. So that's where the collaborative effort is about. Now, if the brand, if Adobe also follows all of this, right? Like what the people are talking about, what changes they can incorporate. There are people, roles of the company which are responsible for collecting data like that. So a simple example is the Lego ideas, where fans can propose and vote on new products, and also Starbucks, my Starbucks idea, which incorporated customer suggestions into their offerings, showcasing the effectiveness of this strategy. So there's Lego ideas and my Starbucks idea. There are several others like Adobe, this all, how they are using it. So different company will have different sort of strategies. Um, to give you a more, so ideas.lego.com is still there. The Starbucks, it has closed, uh, Starbucks campaign, but Lego is still there where we can create an account and then we can upload our Lego idea. So if they like it and if there are supporters, 404 days left, so there's 407 supporters, then they will create this, uh, they will create this package. They already have the Legos, so they will create a package where people can build things like this using the Lego blocks. So essentially, it's a block. So people they play, but then say this idea have 1,058 supporters, 1035 supporters. So people have voted on this. 1,035 people, 1,099, 1,410, 1,397, 7,148. Let's see the maximum. Okay, so far it's 7,148. So 7,148 are saying that they like this idea, and if they like this idea, then when this product comes on the market, then at least this many people will buy it. And with it, they also have the analytics, the people from which country they are, from which place they are. So if most of the people from this place is from USA, say one or two county, say California, then they only have to create this product and then publish it in California and then put it online. So only the stores in California can have it, and then it will be there online. Certain like copies of this. So these all are created by generic brick, highest inquisitive Rogon, so high definition. Let's just go to one eat sleep build repeat. Okay, we have to log in. Since I don't have an account, maybe you can look at it later, but essentially this is all created. So this has 10,000 supporters, fan club. So that's the author. So when this product is created, then the author also will get some sort of loyalty, royalty, and some sort of reward. Then the same it was with Starbucks, my Starbucks idea, where they were taking reviews, feedbacks from people and what to include in the breakfast menu. And basically people could come and give suggestions of what to put in the menu. Many people, when they go to restaurant, then they usually go through the menu, whatever is available, they will eat and then they will come back. Some people, when they go to the restaurant, they go and they tell to the owner that, why don't you keep this? Why don't you keep that? Right? They give suggestions. Only a few uh, shopkeeper, shop owner, or a few restaurant owner will actually incorporate those ideas into their business. So co-creation insights, consumer involvement in product creation. So consumers play a crucial role in shaping products and services by inviting feedback and involving customers in the design process. Brands can create offerings that resonate with their target audience, leading to increased satisfaction and loyalty. Just like in the case of Lego, this is legoideas.lego.com. And when we are saying feedbacks, then these feedbacks are here. And then also, since most of you will be using Photoshop in one time or the other, Photoshop has a official forum, right? So community.adobe.com. Let's go to this inspiration. So welcome to the community. They have Adobe community. That's the website where people they do announcements. People they talk about their finest cut for the weekend. So like this is a problem. Photoshop crash, and when it's crashed, then there will be that's the message that he got. We all are familiar with this, I am sure. Okay, so then this is another. Okay, that's the author of this question, and then this community expert, Axel Matt. So this is another person who is given the title of community expert, and then he is like it's called gamification. He is given a certain kind of reward. Like in social media, we earn badges like top followers, badge, sort of like that. So that is like a recognition. And then with higher recognition, the company also will uh, listen to what they have to say. So this guy is an expert in here that we know from the title. So that's how they are involving consumers in product creation. They are inviting feedback by creating a forum like this, Adobe Community. They are involving customers in the design process, like community, creating community expert. And of course, there are uh, job holders also who, who stay here and then they, from the community, from Adobe, it will be written there. So like this, brands can create offerings that resonate with their target audience. So each and every update that we get involves the problems that people they say that like like 26.9 26.10 crash when opening TPG, they will look into it, the problem what happened. So the software department it will come and then they will tackle it up, and then when they create the next version 26.11 maybe, then that version will have the bug fix. So there's bug fixes in all of the applications and all app updates that we get. So even in a mobile, even if it's a Apple or it's Android, each app updates, application updates that we do, it has those bug fixes and new features in there. And most of the features are from the reviews and what the company, not only what the company thinks it's the customers will like, but most of the features are actually what the customers, what the users have requested the company to include, if it's feasible for the company to do it. So that increases uh, customer satisfaction, and satisfied customer will be a loyal customer. So Lego ideas allow users to submit their designs for new Lego sets. Successful proposals are produced, providing a direct reward for contribution. Lego, they can, like this is find it on lego.com. Let's go to lego.com, this particular product. Okay, warning, small parts. Okay, 613 pieces, building instructions. So this have already been published in lego.com, but I do not see a buy icon in here. So they have created those. There are fan moments, specifications. So this is the packet that they have created. So people can buy this packet, which is by this person, Toby One Kenobi, Toby One Kenobi. Similarly, My Starbucks ideas had led to implementation of hundreds of customer-generated ideas, showcasing the power of consumer collaboration. So Starbucks basically they had the idea of My Starbucks idea, which is not functional now. So this is where they could Starbucks they could suggest what a menu to include. 277 ideas brought to life. So many people they contributed. There was voting. Starbucks gathered more than, okay, 15,000, no, 150. Yeah, it's 1,50,000 ideas. 150,000 ideas. So that was, since Starbucks is a eatery with coffee and other edibles. So they had breakfast menu, they had other menus like that. So they asked people to give suggestions, and then they incorporated those suggestions to build up their menu. When they do something like that, that is not only fostering innovation, they are being able to come up with new ideas, but it also uh, helps with in customer loyalty. So engaging customers in co-creation not only drives innovation as in like bringing up new ideas, but also strengthens emotional connection to the brand. Now, since if you give an idea like this person who have got, so his product is there, so whoever have submitted it, so he will be, like it will uh, make people happy that my idea is being used by Lego. So everybody knows Lego, everybody plays Lego, sort of like that. So it's like a very big brand, very popular brand. So it also will build up an emotional value for that person. So that person will have an emotional connection to the brand, and then he or she would want to keep on creating more and more ideas. So this process fosters loyalty as consumers feel a sense of ownership and pride in the products that they help created. Do anyone of you have any question? Let me know if I'm going too slow or too fast, if you're being able to grasp what I'm saying. Okay, so understanding digital communities. Online community platforms. Successful online community platforms share several key characteristics, including user-friendly interfaces, active moderation, and opportunities for member interaction. They should support various types of content sharing, facilitate discussion, and have built-in feedback mechanisms to maintain engagement and address member needs. We go back to Adobe Community. So it has product community, inspiration gallery, since there's Adobe Firefly, where AI generated image, then creator resources, get free tools, tips, and inspiration from top creators. Adobe Events, boost your skill and expand your network with our events. And then there's Behance. Behance again is a website where you can upload your uh, your creation in form of a portfolio. And when people ask you portfolio, you can also give them your Behance link. So again, successful online community platforms share several key characteristics, including, of course, this is about UI and UX, so user interface, user experience. So it has to be user-friendly interface. It's adobe.com/community, easy to remember, and then it's very easy to navigate through. Active moderation, it should be moderated, like somebody should be present there to go through what people have written. Say, like we go to product community, 211 in product community, 1.4 million posts, 43.8 million members, 644 experts. So these experts are the one who are responsible for moderation and opportunities for member interaction. So we have creator resource. We can learn from other creators. There's inspiration gallery. We can see what people are creating using Adobe Firefly, right? They should support various types of content sharing, facilitate discussion. These are like various type of different content. This is inspiration. This is learning, educational material. Then there are events which are going on. Then there's Behance portfolio. We can see other creators' portfolios, and there's product community where we can talk about the problems that we are facing, or we can just generally just go and say that I'm liking the software. So then people will come and then they will interact. So basically, it's like a social media, but this this social media is targeted at Adobe software users, and they have built-in feedback mechanisms. So this mechanism is basically like the plan that they have. So the feedback are given by the expert in case of Adobe, to maintain engagement and address members' needs. So those people who have problem, if you sometimes it happens that Photoshop does not open. Sometimes it happens that we open our software, Adobe software, then it crashes. It does not open. Certain plugins don't work. Then here is where we will find the solution. Even if you Google up, then many a times the solutions link us to Adobe community itself. So these are the characteristics of online community platforms. So successful digital communities, Adobe product community is one. Examples of successful digital communities include Facebook groups. So Facebook group, as I Netron digital VFX compositor. So for Netron, which was a software, Netron Nation. Okay, I am still a member of this, it seems. Okay. So people are using this, and then it just has 5,000 members because that's what basically you need to run a business. So it's a open source software. And then when we talk about great open source software, that's like Blender, right? Blender is free, and then Blender is an open source software. So Blender community, if we call it, then the blenderartist.org, blender.community. There are different communities for Blender. Then we also saw, then there's Discord. Discord is another social media website. So a lot of things are happening in the internet apart from TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Those are social media where the users are a lot. But then for if we are looking for niche target market, then the niche are in different social media. Just to give you a look of Discord. Discord is there in your mobile application too. Okay, I'm not logged in here. Anyways, maybe I will leave this one unto you. But then that was social media for uh, Blender. So all open source softwares, what they basically do is they incorporate people's suggestions, and out of those people itself, there are developers who develop part of the software, and then they integrate that part into the software, right? So open source is where anybody can develop the software. So examples of successful digital communities include Facebook groups. There are several Facebook groups. There will be other as well. So these are like sort of little technical. There also will be Facebook groups for garments, for products, for different services where users gather around shared interests. There are also the social media called Reddit. Reddit is another social media where people go and they ask for answers. There's Quora, Quora. There's Discord, which provides real-time communication. For Discord is specifically for gaming and hobbies communities. So for gaming and for uh, like 3D related CGI computer generated related topics. So Reddit is for diverse subreddits. So like we call in Twitter, we call them tweet. So in Reddit, we call it subreddit. So basically they are like where people post a question and then people they give solutions to that. So it's the Point to note here is where users gather around shared interests. So that's how you build a community, right? A community is where, like, it's the modern community. The traditional community will be where we are born in with people with whom we stay surrounding, but our interests do not align. That's why we sometimes we find it a little bit difficult to adjust in the communities. That's what that is a thing, like everybody can relate to it. But we should go by with our community and always respect whatever is there. Um, uh, and then there are communities where people gather around shared interests. So these are digital communities where people from all over the world, they gather for their problem, their solution, and for motivating and inspiring others. And people also are there to look for inspirations. Pinterest is another where people gather for photos, images, inspirations. So Pinterest can be used for even for architecture. If you're coming up with some DIY, do-it-yourself ideas for gardening, maybe to decorate your study table, then all those ideas you can get it from Pinterest. You will see pictures, which will lead to websites, which will have how to do it. Most of the times the picture it works directly. Even for hairstyles, if you want, for boys, for girls, hairstyles, you will find different hairstyles there. So the role of digital communities in enhancing customer engagement. Digital communities enhance customer engagement by creating spaces for conversations, sharing insights, and fostering relationships. So, creating spaces for conversations, we go to Adobe, we go to Photoshop ecosystem, and then there are all conversations, there are discussions, there are blogs, there are ideas, announcements. So, new home for the Adobe community. So, Photoshop, what you need to know about generative credits, different articles. This is in another language. Okay, this bonjour. It seems like it's in French. Then there are bugs, the problems that they face, color distortion when opening images saved from Facebook in Photoshop 26.5. So this is an Adobe employee. See that? Adobe employee pinned reply by Samir K. So Adobe employee also can go and then they also moderated. They give solutions to this community because it is run by Adobe itself. So enhance customer engagement by creating spaces for conversations, sharing insights, and fostering relationships. So this relationship is between the customer and the brand. These platforms allows brands to directly connect with their audience. Adobe ecosystem or the Adobe community is a perfect example for this. Gather feedback and cultivate a loyal customer base that feels invested in the brand's success. For feedback, also we have the App Store and all those places also for applications. These ecosystems also they work. There's Reddit, there's Facebook groups, and other places like that, where we can do a lot of data mining. That's what the term is. So this all is required so that the brand can cultivate, gather feedback, and cultivate a loyal customer base so that they understand their customer better, so that they can serve the customer better, they can solve the customer's problem better. Then community dynamics. Key traits of strong communities. Basically, it's the same thing going in and around the class, but it's different perspective to it. Like uh, like say if you're standing in front of an elephant, then the elephant looks it doesn't look that big. Maybe the head looks big. We can only see the head and the tusk. If we are standing on the side of the elephant, then we see that the body is huge, that it got a big tummy. So things like that. So this all it's all are uh, different perspective of co-creation of digital communities of people coming together to share insights of how brands can incorporate people. So even if you are trying uh, to create something, of course, your creation will need a person who will see it or who will uh, use it. So key traits of strong communities. Strong communities exhibit traits such as shared purpose, active participation among members. They should be active and they should participate. And even the brands also should see that how they can uh, bring out new and new ways of how they can incorporate members to participate. Clear, clear guidelines for conduct, um, like in groups, there are guidelines. So they said basically like guidelines, and then they will also say that be respectful, do not use hate words and all. So clear guidelines for conduct and systems for recognition and rewards. And there should be a planning of, there should be a system of how you will give recognition to people who are active, who are doing it, and for the rewards, how will you reward those people? These elements contribute to a positive environment that encourages ongoing engagement and collaboration. So strategies, how you can keep the communities engaged. Brands can enhance engagement within communities through initiatives like giving exclusive content, member-driven events, and feedback loops, thus by replying itself. Again, we come back to Photoshop because Photoshop, the Adobe community is a good way. So they are giving a lot. They are giving inspiration gallery. They are giving creator resources. You can learn, right? Then there are Adobe events, and they have a lot of offering, and then it's very easy for anybody uh, to to see it, to navigate through the website. So brands can enhance engagement within communities through initiatives like exclusive content, member-driven events, and feedback loops. Encouraging user-generated content, UGC, that we saw in the previous class, and recognizing contributions also foster help help foster a sense of belonging and loyalty among community members. So with this community, we can also go to Lego ideas. So ideas.lego.com also has communities where people are coming together. They are saying, okay, maybe if you do this, this one will be a better place and things like that. So people are like coming together to discuss an idea, which helps a sense of belonging and loyalty among community members. So me, I use Adobe softwares specifically. So for anybody who is getting responses and who is getting solution from Adobe, so that's how Adobe also is building a relationship, and that building relationship is what its a brand is about, because brand is how you make uh, uh, a person feel about you. So uh, iPhone, Apple products are a brand because they involve in how you make a person feel about when they use Apple products. So Adobe also does in a different way. Like Apple's phone, people feel good about it. They feel uh, sort of like they feel exclusive. Adobe is not exclusive, though they are very welcoming and then they are very helpful. So, challenges faced by community building. Brands encounter several challenges in community building, including managing negative behavior. So, everything is not so good as we intend it to be. Every rose has its thorns. So there will be negative behavior. People will, there will be rude people there. So how do they deal with it? And then how they maintain long-term engagement. Like I do go to Adobe, but then I do not do Adobe like in a long-term engagement way. I mostly use the softwares, and then if I have problem, I search it on Google, and then most of the solutions that I have found so far, like at least 80 to 90% of them are here. And nowadays we also have YouTube, where YouTube also are teaching good ways in short, crisp formats. I can skip and then I can go to that. Within 1 minute, I can solve most of the problems. So how do the brands they maintain long-term engagement and ensuring inclusivity? So how they can be inclusive? They can include most people. Addressing these issues require careful planning, active moderation, and ongoing communication within community members. So Adobe also has people who are responsible, who run the community, and then who are active on it. So most softwares, most big high-end softwares, they have that. So with that, we will come to the practical application. This is your assignment. Um, do you have any questions, anyone? Okay, five with consideration. That was from the mark sheet. So this is with considerations because this like okay like I am not discriminating or I am not like um, mentioning it that in the class maybe. Okay, I was just disconnected for some time. Can you hear me? Okay. Do you have any
I'm
questions?
getting you.
Okay, thank you, Nelson. Do you have any questions, anybody? Okay, so for this next assignment, what is best if you build a community among yourself from the students? If it's not possible for you guys to come up in huge numbers, maybe you can build a team, right? You can build a team within yourself itself, and then with that team, you do this assignment. And so then it's okay if like two, three people they share one. Just let me know which teams you're doing it. So this basically, and if you are not able to form a team because of XYZ issues, so if you are not being able to do that, even then it's okay. You can like submit it on your own. So for this assignment, students will research a brand with an established digital community. Adobe is one, and you can do Adobe because this is not in the class material, right? We have talked about Lego in the class. In the class material, we have Lego and we have Starbucks. So please do not do Lego and Starbucks. Do Adobe. You can do Netron. You can do software of your own choosing or anything. Behance is one. Then Blender is one, right? So you basically have to research a brand with an established digital community. So when you're doing the research, so you will prepare a presentation. Let's crank it up, crank, crank it up a bit. So the previous you were just creating tables, simple like that. So from next on, just try to make it a little bit creative, without spending too much time into it, right? As you see fit. So for creativity, I won't be giving you marks, but then it will be good to see creativity because you will be practicing it for the later assignments and for your final assignments. So create a presentation as creative as you can without spending too much time into it, right? So covering aspects such as how the community was built, strategies for engagement, what strategies they are taking, how they are basically strategies is like how they are engaging the viewers, the role of co-creation, how they are incorporating the feedback into the product or the service, challenges faced, and their personal perspective on the and your perspective on the brand's approach. If you think it's good, if you think it's bad, and just that, right? So there are one, two, three, four, and 5 points. So you with these 5 points, you have to create a presentation. And to show you one, if we go to Google Docs, so Google Docs has templates, so you can use those templates as well. So there are templates when we find go onto here, we see templates, or even when we create a new, we can get from a template. We can click, and then we have different templates. So these all designs are already there made, right? This is a case study title. So just explore. If you find it too confusing, no need to do it. Do it on your own, but just explore it, and then try out which you like it, and then you can change the whatever is written there. So when you are doing this, of course you will be doing it the research on Google. All that I'm asking is you learn it from Google, just don't rip it off from Google directly, right? Like you read it there, and then maybe you write it down in your own words, so that you will be doing the study, so that research, right? Okay, so I will post it in the group after the class, so you don't have to remember it straight away. So this class activity involves participants selecting a brand and outlining a plan for digital community. So this is like prepping for that digital community plan. Students should define the community purpose, types of content to be shared, instruction. So this one we won't be, this is like the next step, but since the participation is less, we still have not been able to divide the community and all, we will stand at it. But if you want, then you can go on to the next activity too. So this is not a hard and fast rule, only I am looking for that presentation. Okay, so with that, we are concluding today's class. So in conclusion, co-creation and digital communities are essential elements in modern marketing. By fostering consumer engagement, enhancing loyalty, and driving innovation, brands can leverage these dynamics to build strong relationships and achieve sustainable growth. So that's it for today's class. If you have any questions, you can ask.